Researchers in China have built a manta-like robotic fin that can bend, feel its own shape, and detect when it touches something underwater. It is not simply a rubber wing attached to a motor. Inside the fin is a laser-cut skeleton, a flexible sensing layer, soft silicone, and a fluid-driven actuator, all designed to deform together. That matters because a manta-inspired robot does not steer the way a conventional underwater vehicle does. The shape of the fin is part of the control system. In 2026, a team from Northwestern Polytechnical University published a new pectoral fin design that combines actuation and sensing inside one flexible structure. Around the same time, China publicly demonstrated a much larger manta-shaped underwater vehicle called Aoxiang-V in a simulated underwater detection mission. The two should not be treated as the same machine, and there is no public evidence that Aoxiang-V uses this exact laboratory fin. But together they show why this research matters now. One project is solving the problem at the material level. The other shows where biomimetic underwater systems are heading. The real question is not how to make a robot look like a manta ray. It is how to manufacture a wing that is soft enough to bend, strong enough to push against water, precise enough to steer, and sensitive enough to know what is happening to it. Start with the bending itself. A manta ray does not carry a rigid airplane wing underwater. Its broad pectoral fins change shape continuously. Researchers studying manta-like vehicles have found that this deformation changes the way the vehicle moves. Symmetric bending can increase pitch authority, helping the body change depth more aggressively. But large deformation can reduce gliding efficiency. Asymmetric bending can create strong rolling motion and lateral movement. In other words, the fin is not just producing thrust. Its geometry can help determine whether the vehicle dives, turns, or holds a more efficient glide. That creates a manufacturing problem. A completely rigid fin would be easy to control, but poor at reproducing the required deformation. A completely soft fin could bend easily, but without an internal structure, it would be harder to make that deformation repeatable. The 2026 prototype solves that conflict with something surprisingly simple: a skeleton. Researchers cut the internal fin skeleton from PET using a laser cutting machine. PET is familiar as a polymer, but here the important part is not the name of the material, it is the geometry. The skeleton gives the soft fin a defined internal shape before the flexible outer structure is formed around it. The finished research prototype is small. Its body is only 202 millimeters long, with pectoral fins 157 millimeters long and 303 millimeters wide. That small scale makes it possible to study the fin as a controlled engineering system, rather than hiding the mechanism inside a large vehicle. But a skeleton only tells the fin how to deform. It does not tell the robot how much the fin has actually bent. So the next layer is a sensor thin enough to disappear inside the structure. The researchers made flexible mechanical sensors from a thermoplastic elastomer mixed with carbon nanofiber and carbon black. The material was melt compounded, processed, hot pressed into strips, and fitted with wire electrodes. When the sensor bends or stretches, its electrical resistance changes. That gives the control system a way to measure deformation without adding a conventional rigid position sensor to the outside of the fin. Where that sensing film is placed turns out to be critical. A sensor simply stuck onto the outer surface does not experience exactly the same strain as the interior of a thick, soft fin. As the fin repeatedly bends, the mismatch can create shear at the interface. In the team's comparison tests, surface-mounted sensing showed much greater signal drift over repeated motion, so the researchers changed the construction method itself. 3 sensor strips are positioned along the PET skeleton. One sits near the region where previous work showed particularly strong bending. The sensors are held in position with 0.5 mm VHB tape. Then, instead of leaving them exposed, the team casts the deformable silicone layer around the structure. This is the point where the fin begins to look less like ordinary robotics and more like artificial anatomy. The skeleton is already inside. The sensing film is fixed to it. Liquid silicone is cast over the assembly, mechanically bonding the soft layer to the PET while encapsulating the sensors. The sensing material is no longer attached to the outside like an accessory. It becomes part of the deforming body of the fin, and the choice of silicone matters. The team compared several candidate materials through mechanical testing. A material that is too hard resists the large deformation required for flapping. One that is too weak cannot transmit the driving force effectively. Their tests selected Dragon Skin 20 because it combined large deformation with enough structural strength for the biomimetic muscle. If you enjoy engineering stories where the strangest looking part turns out to solve the hardest problem, subscribe to Modus Assembly, because the next step is where this soft wing becomes an active machine. After the deformable layer is formed, a second casting process attaches the fluidic actuator. The researchers describe the concept as a combination of skeleton and muscle. Pressure in the actuator bends the fin, while the embedded sensor changes resistance as the structure deforms. Actuation and sensing are therefore physically coupled inside the same flexible component. That coupling has to survive repetition. A single impressive flap proves almost nothing. In underwater cyclic testing, the integrated fin was driven through roughly 9,600 continuous oscillations. The embedded sensor maintained substantially more stable output than the surface-attached comparison. The test conditions were deliberately repetitive. Underwater actuation at 0.6 Hz and a 60-degree amplitude for about 16,000 seconds. The difference between the two mounting methods became measurable. The embedded sensor showed far less baseline drift than the surface-attached version. In a separate bending test, the embedded sensor tracked motion in both directions with a reported hysteresis error of about 7.18%, while the loading data remained highly linear. These numbers are not glamorous, but they answer the question that matters for a soft robot. Can a sensor keep telling the truth after the wing has flexed again and again? The team also tested different flapping amplitudes and frequencies. The sensors produced distinct electrical responses as the fin changed its bending state. Then they introduced something the fin was not commanding itself: contact with the environment. When the moving fin encountered side interference, the sensing signal changed sharply from the pattern of normal flapping. Bottom contact produced a different response. This means the same flexible structure that generates motion can also help distinguish between its own commanded deformation and an external disturbance. The small prototype could validate perception, but it did not have enough internal space for the complete control architecture. So the researchers used a larger Manta prototype for the decision and response experiments. When a fin detected side contact, the control system could alter the two fin motions to turn and separate from the obstacle. With bottom contact, the fin motion could be changed to lift the vehicle away. That is the deeper payoff. The fin is becoming more than a propulsor. It is also a structural sensor. And this helps explain why bending geometry matters so much. In separate 2026 research, symmetric and asymmetric fin shapes produced different pitch, roll, and lateral behavior in Manta-like underwater vehicles. A future control system can therefore use deformation deliberately, not only asking how fast a fin should flap, but what shape that fin should take while the vehicle moves. This is where the laboratory work meets the larger story. On March 29, 2026, China's Ministry of National Defense publicized a simulated detection demonstration involving the Aoxiang V-shaped biomimetic underwater vehicle. The larger vehicle used forward-looking sonar, continued autonomous navigation after wired communication was cut, and was presented in a concept where multiple vehicles could communicate through underwater acoustic links. Again, the public evidence does not show that EOS Young V contains the exact PET skeleton, sensor film, silicone, or fluidic actuator used in the small research fin. Treating them as identical would turn a real engineering story into speculation. What the evidence does show is a progression of questions. First, can an underwater robot move with manta-like fins at all? Then, can the fin bend in ways that improve maneuvering? Then, can the soft structure sense its own deformation instead of relying only on external instruments? And finally, can that perception become reliable enough to influence how a larger robotic vehicle reacts to its environment? The answer emerging from this research is that the hardest part of copying a manta ray is not the silhouette. It is manufacturing controlled flexibility. A useful artificial fin needs a skeleton that gives deformation structure, a soft material that can repeatedly change shape, an actuator that supplies motion, and sensors that remain mechanically coupled to the wing instead of peeling away from it. Those elements have to survive thousands of cycles while still producing signals a controller can understand. That is why this small fin matters. It turns the manta ray idea from a visual imitation into a materials and control problem that can actually be measured. The finished machine may look almost biological as it moves through water. But inside that motion is a carefully manufactured stack of polymer, carbon-filled sensing material, silicone, embedded electrodes, and controlled actuation. The manta shape gets your attention. The way the fin is built explains how it works. Subscribe to Modus Assembly for more engineering stories built from the inside out.